Hey man, I got one question for you. Tell me about the day that the vehicle died on you, so I got a little backstory.
I went driving. I was driving.
Okay, and then you took it to the shop, and what did they tell you? What did they do?
He checked gas line and stuff, and he said that when they coming to the gas line, he told me that I needed a fuel pump.
Okay, fuel pump wasn't working. Okay.
So, yeah, he told me I needed a fuel pump. So I bought a fuel pump. He put the fuel pump on. After he put the fuel pump on, he told me that I needed a fuel box.
Yes, okay, that's where I'm at right now. Okay, sounds good, man. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Hey, check this out. I got a new fuse box on the front seat of that truck.
Oh, they didn't put the fuse box in it?
He said that it was still blowing. He couldn't find the problem why it was blowing.
What was blowing?
The fuse in there. He said he didn't want to short that out on the new.
Oh, there is a fuse that's blowing, so there's a fuse that's missing in that fuse box. Then.
Yeah, but I was using on the new one though. The new one.
Oh man, all right, that's what I'm talking about. That's good information. All right, buddy, I'm gonna get you going.
Okay.
All right, so they've been playing in that IDPM, the Intelligent Power Distribution Center. They've been playing in that, and there was a fuse that was missing because I checked all the fuses. So, and they were all good. But he said there's one that keeps on blowing. So I'm going to have to get the diagram of the ID of the fuses. I'm gonna have to get that printed up, or I'll put it on my tablet, and we'll find out which one is missing. Because you have that throttle body codes that'll keep coming up. It's like something's unplugged kind of thing. It's just like that Nissan, that fuel pump we did on one of those earlier videos, a couple videos back, where the fuel pump, we put oil in the cylinders, that video, and it just reminded me of that, because all those, unplugged codes, you got the fuel pump, you got the tank pressure, that's on, and you got the other fuel sensor, and that's on, and like something's unplugged, something's disconnected, no power getting to it. All right, 48 and 53 ECM relay, fuel pump relay, 48 and 53. Throttle control is 52. All right, check this out. Fuel pump relay, fuse location 48. 52, fuel throttle motor relay, 52 again. 53 is the engine, the ECM relay fuse. Okay, so let's look at the numbers so you guys can find it, because I had a hell of a time finding this diagram. So, and there they are right there. There's your fuse box, there's your IDPM right there. Okay. Let's find the relays. Let's identify the relays now. Let's take a look at these relays. All right, we got 5 on this side, we got 4 on that side. So engine control module is R2, so that's going to be engine control module right there, a relay right there, I'm sorry. R2 is going to be the computer relay, engine control module, the ECM relay, right there. And here's that should help you guys out a little bit. I know it did me a little bit after the fact, but yeah. Ignition is R9. Starter is R5. Okay, good to know. All right, there you have it one more time. Let's get to trouble codes. Yeah, let's get to the trouble codes. No fuel pump, no ignition spark. So first thing I want to do is pull trouble codes and then maybe go check at the powertrain relay. Now let's pull up a diagram too while we're at it. Let's get it. And these are the trouble codes we're getting. We're getting the throttle control function, bank 1, the fuel sensor, tank pressure, I believe that is. Fuel level sensor, it's like something's unplugged. The ETC motor power, bank 1, it's a 4-cylinder, so it only has bank 1. Okay, so yeah, so it's like something is unplugged right there. So let's get a schematic up. That's the only trouble codes we have. There's nothing else. Let's get a schematic of the wiring diagram of the powertrain control, powertrain, and we'll look at the throttle. Look at one of those codes. All right, I'm just looking through my data PIDs, guys, and I was looking at the fuel pump relay. I know the fuel pump's not kicking on, but let's watch the relay, see if it kicks on. And it does. The fuel pump still's not coming on. So let's just consider that a clue, or at least we know the control module is actually turning on the relay. We at least know that. Okay, let's move on. All right, I'm looking at the data PIDs on the engine computer, the inputs, or all main signals. Now I'm looking at the fuel. That's one of the codes we got. Fuel temp, and it's -49. Like something is unplugged, or not, or yeah, or broken. So all right, let's move on. More clues. All right, I am in the power distribution part of the schematic, and I'm looking at we're looking at fuse 52 and 53. They go to the ECM relay, and or the PCM relay, whatever you want to call it. And you got the throttle control there too. We did have codes for that, and that's why I'm here. So we're going to check fuse 52. Well, we're going to check fuse 53 too, and I might have to come up here and check that red wire right there. That's what feeds it. Let's just see if we got power here first, and then we'll go further. The fuse is good on all those. That's the bottom fuse right here. Got the other side of the fuse. So that's my computer fuse. That's good. Finding any power issues. Fuses, wires, the power lead going into the IDPM for the powertrain control module. I'm not finding anything. So right now I'm just going to go straight to the throttle body. Let's see what kind of voltages we got at the throttle body connector. Actually, I wish I would have done this first. Watch me see something funny here. Let me get my power probe. Thinking bad computer already. I got 2.3 volts right there. Let me set you up. 2.3 on the first pin. I got 5 volts. Nice to have a 5-volt reference. There's my ground. There's 0.17, another 0.17. So 0.17, 0.17, ground, 0.42, nothing. I got 5 volts, and I have 2.39 volts. And that's going to be a white wire on my throttle body. Yeah, white wire. The red wire has, you know, nothing on it, 0.021. I have 5 volts on the blue wire. Red wire, I have nothing. There's a big fat blue wire on the other end, and that has nothing. Well, let's look at the schematic for the throttle body. Let's look at the schematic for the throttle body and see where power comes from and all that kind of good stuff. Grounds. Let's do that. I'm not going to chase the throttle body code. All right, I can't seem to find anything. I can't find anything. So I'm going to go for what I know. I know that we're not getting a spark, and I know I'm not getting a fuel. I'm not going to worry about the trouble codes that I already have on there. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to trace, and I'm going to follow the fuel. I can actually, this is where I'm at right now because I'm getting frustrated. Yes, I'm getting frustrated. All right, I have it on the activation on my fuel pump. Fuel pump relay right there. If you listen closely, you'll be able to hear that I can turn it on. Okay, on, off. Okay, so I do have control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out where that voltage is coming from. So I should have out voltage going out straight to my fuel pump. The data stream again, all signals. So let's see if that turns on. It did earlier. All right, so yeah, it's turning on. So let me figure out what wire is coming out of that power distribution module, and let me tap into that, and then let's see if I have voltage coming out of the box going straight to the fuel pump. Let's get on the schematic real quick, and I'm going to show you the schematic before I do that. Okay, here's the schematic right here. Fuel pump relay. Okay, so that one is clicking. We heard it. So I should have voltage on this red wire. That is going to the fuel pump. Let me highlight it for us. Okay, let me squish it. And that red wire should go right to the fuel pump. Alright, it's going right to the fuel pump, the motor. Alright, so that should be working. Now, I know we're not addressing the no spark, but hopefully we'll find a problem when we find this problem. Okay, I doubt that this, well, I'm not going to say that either. But we're going to find the problem. When we find this problem, why that fuel pump's not kicking on, it's a new fuel pump back there. They just put a new one on there, guessing. So let's test the wires, unless they didn't put something on right back there. It's possible. Like shit's unplugged back there too, like that other vehicle. I did. Okay, let's find out where the wire's coming out of that box. Because if it's clicking, hopefully it should be sending. Hopefully. Just because it clicks doesn't mean it's any good. And if that's the case, I'll just get me another box. But one step at a time. Let's find it. All right, I got to get to a conclusion because I've been here way too long already. So it's trying to kick my ass. It's trying to kick my ass. I don't like that. I do not like that. All signals. So I'm going to go to the fuel pump relay again, guys. All right, now one of those connectors back there on that IDPM should be 13. It's going to be a red wire. It should be a solid red wire. So let's get up here. If I'll look at the diagram, if I can't find it, that's a red and a black wire. That's a red wire with a piece of gray on it. There's another red wire right here, red with a black stripe. And there's another red wire right here. Pull out all the red wires that I can see. There's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a red wire down here. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get the diagram or the ID of this box so I'll know which one is the fuel pump. try that again. Huh. Activation tests. I'm sorry, activation. Let's go back up here to fuel pump again. Okay, turn it on. All right, you guys heard the click. Turn it off. Okay, good. Turn it back on. All right, I should have voltage. Let's check this one. Let's go ahead and turn that noise off. Let's go ahead and turn it back off. That didn't change. I still have voltage coming out of that wire, so let's move on to the next one. And I'll go home and I'll find out where it is. Okay, I got nothing out of that red wire. Let's turn it back on. I got nothing out of that. Turn it back off. Alright, so there was nothing coming out of that red wire. Let's try this red wire down here. Try another red wire. Let's try that one right there. Okay, it's off. Let's turn it back on. There it is right there. Off. And turn it back on again. Fuel pump relay off. Let's turn it on right there. Okay, so that's my fuel pump wire right there. That red wire right there. And don't know if there's a number on it that I can see, but I'm not worried about it because that's my fuel pump. So what I know now is just by knowing that that is working, that's working, so I should have voltage running back to the fuel pump, and that fuel pump should at least hum, unless it just got a bad ground back there. But that doesn't say anything about, but that doesn't explain why I don't have a ignition spark. I checked my my engine speed, so when you crank the motor you can watch the engine speed on your data PIDs, and you can see if the numbers change, which is meaning it's reading the crank sensor and it's sending the signal out. So we're not there, we're not chasing ignition problem right now. We're chasing why the fuel pump's not kicking on. That's what we're doing right now. So right now I'm going to go back there to the back of the tank. I'm going to see if I can drop that tank down a little bit, or find that red wire in the harness, and we're going to check our voltages back there. Don't know what else to do. It's a logical thing to do right now. Yeah, because there's my voltage right there. That's my voltage right there. Turned it off. Let's turn it back on. You see off, turn it back on. There it is. It's my voltage. I'm turning it off. I'm gonna turn it on. Okay? So yeah, logical step is get back to the fuel pump. Let's do it. Looking at the schematic, because I want to make sure my powertrain relay is working. So I really can't find the relay. I think it's the third one, and I swapped them, and I did hear it click when I put it in there, so maybe that was the powertrain. But just so I can check myself, let's go to the ECM relay on the IPDM, and I'm going to go ahead and follow this green wire, the first step, and I'm going to check if I have voltage coming out of that coil pack, coming to the coil pack when I turn the key on. Let's do it. My tone, that is a ground tone. I'm gonna turn my engine on. Let's see if my powertrain relay is powering up my coils. Key on, yep, and it did. So my relay is good. I'm sending voltage. So that's how I did that. To verify that the powertrain relay is at least powering up my coils. Again, I'm not getting spark out of that coil right there, number one. All right, now it splits off 3 ways. So I should have power going to my intake valve timing control solenoid. I don't have any trouble codes on that either, so I'm getting voltage there. Well, I'm guessing there's voltage there. Computer really didn't see anything yet. Well, it's working. Unless something's wrong with the splice. The evap, now I did have a code, a vent solenoid code. I did have a vent solenoid control valve code on my scan tool. Twice. I cleared the codes and it came back twice. Why that happened, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'm going to try to do it for us all. In fact, I'm just going to leave you right here. You should be able to see what I'm doing. All right, here's the red wire right there. You see it? Red wire. Going to put the probe right there. Just slightly touch it. And I got nothing out of that. Let me make sure it's on. It is. I'm going to turn it off. So it's clicking up there right now. So it's I'm going to turn it back on. Back on. So this thing should go deet. And I got nothing. I absolutely got nothing out of here. So do we have a break in the wire? So do we have a break in the wire? It looks like that's what we have, a break in the wire somewhere between that fuse box and back here. So why did it interfere with the ignition? With the spark? All right, guys. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to check all those pins on that fuel pump plug. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cavities on that. I want to check them because I'm worried about a ground, and I was thinking about, let me just jump the fuel pump, and then I started thinking about the ground. So let's just check them first. Let me make sure my meter works. So when I get a ground, it'll sound like that when I touch a metal. Okay, so here we go. My tone is on. There's nothing out of that plug. There's nothing out of that plug. There's nothing out of that plug. It's like we got a connector that's completely disconnected. We got nothing out of that plug either. We got nothing out of that plug. All six of them do not say anything. There's nothing there. It's like a dead connector. It's a dead connector, not even a good ground. Not even a good ground. I'm going to probe the ground wire. It's the black one that's in the middle. I'm just going to do that one twice. Okay, that's my ground right there. So I should get a toad. I got nothing. There's nothing in there at all. You know what? I'm going to leave that unplugged for the time being. I might have to go back to that. Or do I have to come back to that? I guess we should get on the schematic again and start going backwards. I don't know, guys. This plug is completely dead. big harness. There's the plug right there. There's nothing on any 6 of those cavities. There's nothing. It goes into the big harness. It goes into the big harness, and it goes to the front of the vehicle. It goes to the front of the vehicle that way. That way. So it's this harness right here. This is the harness right here. Let's check it out. There's a little piece of plastic over there that's hanging. Let's go over there and see if that's anything interesting. Alright, it looks like we did find something a little interesting. This is hanging down for a reason, I guess. And there's a connector right there. And look at that. It's unplugged. We just found our problem, dude. We just found our problem. That's cool. So let's plug this bad boy up. And we should have some fuel pump action. Actually, let me go ahead and take it all apart, and I'll plug it up right, make sure everything is cool inside of there. Cool, man. All right, I just plugged it up, and this latch was completely off, so I just tightened it up. And we can go back there and plug up the fuel pump like I should have done, and we'll go ahead and click the on button and see if the fuel pump kicks on. Let's do it. All right, guys. This is the moment of truth. I'm pretty sure that fuel pump's going to kick on now. Let's click it on. There it is. Oh yeah, that's doing a lot. Turn it off. Let's turn it back on. All right, let's start this bitch up. I ain't gonna lie, this one could have really, really was messing with me. I ain't gonna lie. It was messing with me. If I didn't say, man, let's start with the fuel pump. Well, I'm glad I started with the fuel pump. Otherwise, it would have been a while before I found this problem. It's gonna start. Well, maybe it's not gonna start. Fuel pump works again. I was expecting more. I was expecting more. Damn it! Start, man! All right, where's my scan tool? All right, let's let me just check some things around first. I don't have a coil in there for one. It still should have started, but let me get the coil back in there. That might help out a little bit. Instead of running on 3 cylinders, let me try to run 4. I still got to do a spark check now still too. So it ain't over with yet. It's not over, but we got one problem solved. Okay. Now I have everything plugged up as it's supposed to be. We'll clear codes and we'll start over again. So now we're not going to get any fuel pump codes or anything like that. It's like I said in the beginning, it's like something was unplugged, like that other car I did a couple weeks ago and posted. That Nissan or whatever, the one I had to pour oil. Remember all them codes came up for the fuel pump, pressure, tank, and okay, I just clicked on the fuel pump. Let's turn it off. Okay, it turned off. Let's get out of here. Let's go to data stream. We'll go to all signals. Let's Let's go to the fuel pump because that's what we're working on right now. Actually, I don't even care anymore. We know the fuel pump kicks on now. So let's just turn the key off for 5 seconds. I should hear that fuel pump kick on. And I do. Let me hear it. Let me let you hear it. Turn the key off. Listen. Okay. Good. Okay, I think what I want to do now is I want to check spark again. I want to do that. And I will do that. Okay. Let's read codes one more time. Throttle body, fuel tank, fuel level, and the vent valve. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and clear these out of there. And those codes should not come back. At least the fuel pump code is not going to come back, and possibly that, not even that vent valve. That's a wrap on that. Let's read codes again. And no trouble codes detected. All right, good. Because normally they would come back immediately. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. All right, let's see if we have any new trouble codes. So now all we have left is the throttle body code. All right, so this is going to be round 2 on that one. So we're going to check spark. Let's check spark now. All right, now okay, now stay tuned for part 2. We got the fuel pump fixed. Now all we have to do is work on getting this spark problem fixed. I might have to break out my oscilloscope, and we can actually see the waveforms of the camshaft and the crankshaft. We might have to do that. We may even have to take off the intake manifold because he said he saw some smoking back there. So we'll see how that goes. Tomorrow it'll be a part 2 on this video. Peace. Now I really can't tell you why that plug was unplugged. I don't know, did the other shop unplug it? They just left it on, they just kind of stuck it in the hole and didn't clamp it down? Or was the old fuel pump even kicking on? You know what, I don't know. I can't tell you. Did they check? He said that, you know, your fuel pump is bad, so they changed the fuel pump. That plastic piece was hanging down, like maybe they scraped something, whoever was driving it, they scraped it, and I don't know, it was in the unlocked position, that lever, that the connector, it was in the unlocked position, it was just stuck in the hole. So they might have tapped into that, just didn't plug it back up. I don't know. So anyways, we got 2 problems. We solved one problem. Now we're going to solve the other problem, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. That'll be the next video. That'll be part 2 of this repair. And I'll see you next time. Peace.